What's going on, Pels fans? It is another night of Pelicans basketball. The New Orleans Pelicans face off in Golden State tonight in San Francisco. It's gonna be nationally televised on ABC and, of course, on Bally Sports New Orleans. Yeah, and I also have some great news tonight to kick off the pregame show. Zion Williamson and Jose Alvarado will be available for tonight's game. So that is good news for the Pelicans heading into this game. Um, they are in a hard stretch right now. They got some big games coming up. This is a tough schedule, part of the schedule that the Pelicans need to go survive in. Most definitely need to go ahead and get themselves prepared for. Um, I'm very, very excited though to play this Warriors team because right now, as it stands, it looks like the Warriors are in the best spot. As far as in this Western Conference, you can't never, um, you know, just rule out the Golden State Warriors. They're always gonna go ahead and bring their best with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, even with Draymond Green coming back and everything. You can never count them out. But I'm just saying, in this Western Conference, they haven't started their season the way they have liked to, and most definitely, this is going to be something that the Pelicans need to take advantage of. They aren't the scary team that we all know. They're not the dynasty warriors that they once have been. So coming into this game, the Pelicans definitely need to go ahead and take it to them, man. I'm looking for these Pelicans to go ahead and come into this game with a feisty attitude, just like they did a couple of nights ago against Sacramento. I don't know what it is with the Pelicans playing against the Sacramento Kings, man. But it looks like the Pelicans have Sacramento's number, man. I guess it's just a matchup problem for the Sacramento Kings. But if we run into them in the playoffs, you still can't take that team lightly. That's still a damn good basketball team, a very good young and up and coming basketball team. But I'm just saying, man, the Pelicans just look very good when they play the Sacramento Kings, man. What's going on with your Nas, man? I see you in the background, man. The Pelicans are back at it again, man. Like I said, they just went on ahead and took care of a very good Sacramento Kings basketball team. They got to play a always good Golden State Warriors team tonight, and Zion Williamson and Jose Alvarado will be available tonight. You know how it kind of gets when the Pelicans play on national TV. The Pelicans so far this year just not have not showed up on national TV. So hopefully tonight we see a totally different team on national TV. The Pelicans need this game because, like I said, this is a tough stretch of teams that they're playing against in this Western Conference, man. So for them to move up, the rankings, man, they're at six right now. But if they lose like one or two games, they can fall right out of you know the playoff spots, the first six playoff spots, and find themselves in the play-in tournament, or find themselves right outside the playoffs. That's how close it's been in this playoff race in the Western Conference, man. So what you looking forward to tonight, Nas, against these Warriors, man?
Against them, take out the four sources. Steph, we all know. Clay, we all know. Wiggins, close out his spacing. Draymond, you already know what he's gonna do.
Right,
Mastermind tricks. Try to make you trick you into getting you fouled out.
right.
Easy tactic, but another thing with that too, you gotta close out their spacing, they ISO game. That's how you gotta close out. especially with Steph and Clay and Wiggins being the main three ISO players that they got.
Hmm.
The way they space the floor as facilitators, scorers, you just got to close those three out. Those are going to be your three primary guys you shut down. You got to shut them down early. You close out Steph early, you close out Clay early, you close out Wiggins early. But the main source guy you want to close out is Clay because Clay is like he is the vocal point of that offense and defense. He's the
Really?
vocal, yeah, because it's not like Steph is just all offensive game, but
Hmm.
not too readily known for defense. Because
Hmm.
guess what? With Clay, Clay is the actual main closeout start. You close Clay out because offensively and defensively, he can affect you.
Right.
So take out Clay first, then you put Steph second, and then you take out Wiggins third, and lastly, you pick the last of the fray of the starting five. You take out Draymond.
Yeah. Draymond Green is still being reinstated from his suspension. He's actually trying to get back in game shape and everything. I actually heard a report about him. They were saying that Draymond Green was actually considering retirement, and that the league owner, Adam Silver, had to talk him back into not trying to retire and everything like that. But he's not
Still
gonna be
still,
playing tonight and everything, but he will be back. He's very important to the Warriors basketball team, which is this is probably good news for the Pelicans.
because we ain't
Not
got to worry
having to
about that
worry about a
um,
Draymond Green.
a deep.
Draymond Green is the heart and soul of that basketball team, and keeps them afloat, and defensively, and just brings that type of toughness to their basketball team. You know, but Steph, like you mentioned, Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins are definitely going to be the focal point of the Warriors offense and defense. That those are going to be the top three players. Like I said, you just cannot count out this team at all. But at the same time, too, in the back of our minds, we should know that the Warriors right now aren't at their strongest right now. So this should be a good opportunity for the Pels to go ahead and, even though it's at the Warriors' house, this should be a good opportunity for them to go ahead and try to take over and get out of this game with a W, man. This would heavily boost their confidence down the road. Since entering this stretch, they have a 4-1 record, so they just need to go ahead and like I said, get on a little streak, and finish this little stretch that they have with a winning record, for sure.
Yeah, keep the streak, keep a streak going, gain momentum, play consistently, coach consistently,
Yeah.
because
Let
it's
me
been out of whack.
Let me see. And I kind of mentioned this stretch. Now you look at this with the Pelicans too. The After the Golden State Warriors, I mean, just listen to these matchups that the Pelicans have to, go ahead and play against. Man, they have to play against
Mm,
Denver, at
mm,
Dallas,
mm,
at Dallas again.
mm.
And I mean I mean those four games right there are going to be tough. I mean they started out the stretch with Minnesota, the Clippers, and Sacramento. Like I said, they fared well out of that. But man, Golden, like I said, you got to go to State tonight. You're at Denver, you're at Dallas, and then you're at Dallas again, man. That's a tough, couple of games coming up in your stretch, man. So these
Especially the
games,
two Dallas games, because you got to
yeah,
play in their house, and then you got to come back and play in our house, our own house against them. So
well,
you got to play
actually,
twice.
it's that game is with the Mavericks. It's gonna be both road games. It's not even gonna be a Dallas Mavericks home game, then a Pelicans home game. It's gonna be both. We're gonna be back to back
Ooh,
in Dallas.
ooh,
So
ooh.
yeah, the Pelicans have that's a tough stretch, man. I
That's
mean, like,
that's them two. The two Dallas games gonna be the two kicking the nuts for that streak.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But I mean, that just goes to show how important this stretch is, man. The Pelicans just need to take it a game at a time. Start with tonight, you know, get you a good W. I mean, it's very possible to come out tonight with a W, and then take momentum into Denver. You know Denver has always been good. Yeah, the defending champions, and they're a top three seed right now in the Western Conference. But you need a good momentum tonight to take with you before traveling over to Denver. And then, if you handle your business with Denver, then you go ahead and that trickles down over that to that next game. And like I said, that over there to Dallas, and then you gotta you gotta fight Dallas off back to back. So I mean, I'm so glad. I was glad to hear that Zion Williamson was, okay and fine throughout that injury. That was, and you know what? I have to give him props this season. I think a lot of Pelicans fans need to give him props that, so far this season with injuries, um, Zion has only missed 2 games, 2 or 3 games as far as injury. So he's been available. Now, knock on wood that he continues to stay healthy and everything, and the whole entire roster continues to stay healthy. But I've been loving what I've been seeing from that. That Zion hasn't let injuries derail him. He's been available, and that's all you really want to see from him. Jose Alvarado, that was a good boost as well to actually see him back available for tonight. You need that pest. Chris Paul is gonna be out tonight for the Warriors. He just had to go ahead and get surgery for his wrist and everything. So you need somebody to kind of go ahead and aggravate Steph Curry tonight. Get rattle Klay Thompson tonight. That's of course we're gonna have Herb Jones out there for that, but when Herb Jones is sitting out
Ooh.
on that bench, you need that guy. And Jose Alvarado is very important to this roster. Calvin said the Pelicans actually play faster without Zion. Um, I agree. I agree with you with that, Calvin. The Pelicans, they actually like to go more to their small ball lineups when um
Zion.
when Zion is not out there. Um, but I'll agree to you with this though too. That only happens. The Pelicans don't actually play faster when Trey Murphy is playing. Okay, you notice when Trey Murphy was out there, it looked like a totally different team. When Trey Murphy and Zion Williamson are both out, it's a totally different team. Um, but if
It
you
truly.
have one or the other, then it's very effective. You're looking at a big boy lineup with Zion out there, and then if Zion somehow is not playing, you got Trey Murphy. You can run small ball lineups with Trey Murphy because Trey Murphy keeps you unbalanced with his shooting and the way he attacks the rim. So um, look, I'm just glad, like I said, to see this team. They've held their end of the bargain so far. We haven't made it to the All Star break yet, but the Pelicans so far have been healthy. And from what I've been hearing too, Matt Ryan looks like he's close to coming back. He looked very like great at the beginning of the season before he got hurt and everything. So he looks very close to returning from his elbow and shoulder, injuries from the beginning of the season. So that's gonna be added shooting to this Pelicans basketball team. So things are looking up for Pelicans basketball, folks. Like, this is exciting times for the Pelicans. Now, the only thing that could derail, a good start to the season right now, and why the Pelicans aren't really as high as they need to be, because let's just be honest here. It's great that they're the 16, but they need to be higher on this list in this Western Conference. They could actually be a top 4 team in this Western Conference, a top 3 team in this Western Conference. But they lost a lot of these games this season because they have
Injuries.
had trouble. Not just injuries, but they've had trouble with holding leads and closing out games in the end. You know,
Coaching.
like against this Warriors team. Expect a close game. I'm expecting this game to go down to the wire. Now, if the Pelicans have a lead on them, you have to go ahead and learn how to close the games. You know, don't sit there and let the Warriors get hot and come back into this game. I'm telling you, they will run you out of San Francisco. You know, Calvin, you're correct. CJ looks surprisingly looks good. Like, hey, but you know what? And I'm not gonna sit there, Calvin, and say surprisingly so much, because CJ, I expected this out of CJ. You know, Pelicans fans, I believe, to me, was a little bit too hard on CJ. You know, going into the season, after what happened last year, I think since coming to New Orleans, he's been playing some of the best basketball of his career. You know, especially shooting wise. He's become that veteran leader that we've been looking for with this young roster, man. So I say kudos to CJ McCollum. CJ is just proving the doubters wrong, and all going. He's showing that he was worth that trade. Of Josh Hart and getting rid of guys like that. He was worth everything that we got rid of to go get him. Um, so like I said, with that though, I'm gonna ask you this though, Nas. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Pelicans so far with closing games and getting better at playing like tonight? They're gonna play a very good team, a very good 3-point shooting basketball team. They can't come in tonight trying to you know play match for match. Okay, you can't sit there and try to outshoot the Warriors. The Warriors are already great at shooting. We're great. We're a good shooting team too. But we're not going to sit there. We shouldn't come out there thinking that we're going to go ahead and match every 3-point shot that the Warriors has. So what can the Pelicans do tonight to make sure that they're not trying to feed into the Warriors 3 pointers and just play their own game and all going stay ahead when they are ahead and learn how to close games. What do you think about that, Nas?
Two things: coaching adjustments. Coaching got to be aggressive. Two, to beat the Golden State Warriors, to beat Golden State, here's the catch: you maintain a lead. You don't play tick for tack with them shooting.
Right.
Take it to the basket. Take it to the basket and play defense.
Right.
Take it to the basket. Take the mid range and play to the basket and play defense against them. That's how you
Right.
beat them because they about the 3 point game, right? So
Yes.
what do you beat? So what do you beat them with? Mid range, post up, and play defense. Simple as
Yes.
that.
Yes, for sure. That's
Make them.
that's great points that you made there, Nas. Um, I'm gonna tell you this too. Like the Pelicans matching up with the Warriors, they have something that the Warriors don't have. Okay, now the Warriors are pretty good when with small ball lineups. They can run up and down the floor, but the thing is, defensively, they're gonna have a problem matching up with guys like Jonas Valanciunas and Zion Williamson. This is where the Pelicans have to take advantage of using their post players. The Warriors don't have a guy other than Kevon Looney, and at times, they don't have a guy like him other than him, to stop Jonas Valanciunas and Zion Williamson. So keep feeding the big guys tonight. Attack that rim. Make sure that every time that they try to go ahead and spark a run on you, you slow it down and you play your pace of game. Don't try to make it a track meet. You just go ahead and you take advantage of that post game. you know. Um, and also too, I'll take Brandon Ingram any day at small forward, against Andrew Wiggins. I'm taking Jonas Valanciunas over Kevin Looney, and I'm taking whatever power forward that they have down there, because I know for sure that Draymond Green is not playing, so Zion Williamson is going to feast on whatever power forward that they have down there in the post. So this should be tonight. This should be a game where, like I said, hearing the news that Zion Williamson is going to be available and healthy enough to play tonight, this should be a good game for Zion Williamson to go ahead and feast in that post. Calvin talked about the rebounding has picked up tremendously. Yes, it has. That look, we were. I remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about how the Pelicans have been struggling with rebounding the basketball, particularly Zion Williamson. Um, we never have this problem with Valanciunas. Big Val always gonna get his when it comes to rebounding, but Zion Williamson, I guess he's heard us. He's definitely has picked it up, rebounding the basketball, and this has helped tremendously. Larry Nance, when he came back from his injury, huge. I mean, that's huge for the Pelicans because it's added rebounding to this team. This is added hustle to this basketball team, man. So, this is like I said, I'm seeing this team start to come and get together in areas where they were struggling earlier in the season, man. They just need to take it a game at a time, man. A game at a time. Um, so Nas, let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. Now, we done talked about how there's we can take advantage of that inside presence, against the Warriors tonight. But we need to also talk about too that the bench has to play a huge role tonight. Now I know we expect the best out of our starters every night and everything, but you got to be encouraged by how well the bench has been playing so far. But tonight it matters more than any other night that they have to show up tonight against the Warriors, because the Warriors bench is as good as anybody's starting lineup. So tonight I'm looking for the bench to play well. But who are you looking forward to on the bench tonight for the Pelicans to step up tonight?
Hawkins.
Oh, Jordan Hawkins, huh?
Yep. Hawkins.
Why you say Jordan Hawkins?
Spark light. Spark light. Spark. Swagger guy. Let you know. Once he get hot, don't stop feeding him the ball. Get him to facilitate. His defense is not flashy and sexy,
Right,
but hey, it is what it is. He gives you defense.
right,
He's not gonna give you no Draymond type of defense, no Damian Lillard type of defense, no
right,
Trey Young type of defense, but he gives you defense. He
right,
gives you like underrated defense, like defense that don't get credit. Like
right.
he can guard you like fundamentally. But
Well, I'll say this to you though, Nas. Now, that was interesting that you said Jordan Hawkins. Teacher Covington was kind of saying Jose's playing, Hawkins might not even play. Well, I'm gonna say this to you, teacher, that Hawkins, little by little, I ain't gonna lie to you, because at first, we definitely was seeing a bunch of Jordan Hawkins minutes because of we were missing C.J. McCollum and Jose Alvarado. But now I think ever since the Pelicans sent him to the G League, and they seen that he does not belong in that G League the way he went off in the G League. Jordan Hawkins has been picking up the minutes little by little. It hasn't been the same like it was in the beginning of the season, but he's been getting little by little. And each time that Jordan Hawkins gets in the game, he makes the most out of those minutes, man. So I'm happy just to see Jordan Hawkins minutes because I think the kid is gonna be special. The kid is already gifted, with his shooting and offensively, the way he plays. He just, like you said, he needs to continue to improve on the defensive end. Calvin says, can you see this team ending up in the finals this year? A question for both of you guys. Well, I'm gonna let you answer that first, Nas. What you think?
We stay healthy. Oh yeah, hands down. We stay healthy. Yes.
Now for me, I think um I think most definitely the New Orleans Pelicans can be an NBA Finals team because let's just be honest here about the Pelicans. The Pelicans are, when healthy, or is one of the most deepest teams in the league. We have everything on this roster. But the problem is though is, and it's all we're going to continue to bring this up until we see the Pelicans you know survive the injury bug, but it's been injuries. If they can just stay healthy, if they can go ahead and make sure that they close out games, that's something new that we've been seeing this season. Like I said, I brought this up earlier, but if they can learn how to close out basketball games in the end and hold leads, this and they learn how to come together and learn how to continue to play together. Um, man, the sky's the limit for this basketball team. But
Facts.
I'm gonna tell you this, Calvin. This stretch of basketball games, like I said, we brought up the Warriors. We brought up the Denver. We're playing the Warriors tonight. We brought up the Denver Nuggets.
We
We
played
played the
Dallas
Clippers.
twice
Yeah, we played Dallas twice. This is gonna
on the
tell you what.
road.
Yes, on the road. So this is definitely gonna tell you a lot about this Pelicans basketball team. This is a tough Western Conference. A lot of these basketball teams are like literally one game away from being like a top five or top three team in this league. Everyone is one game away from each other, man. That's how competitive it is in this Western Conference, man. So it's I believe it. And Nas said he believes it. We definitely can see these Pelicans get into the finals. It's just little things like healthy, staying healthy and closing out games. That's what we need to see. And if they can do that, and with coaching, I believe in Willie Green. I really do. Um, but if they can continue to defend, this team can be dangerous. We have a deep basketball team, y'all. Tidra Covington said only way he gets minutes tonight if we blowing out the Warriors. Well, Tidra, that's possible. That's very possible. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Hopefully against a team like the Warriors, we put them out there. Let them go ahead and go and try to shoot out there with Trey Murphy, man. Let him go ahead and get some minutes, man. If Jose Alvarado is on a minutes restriction or something like that, and Jose doesn't feel 100% quite yet, let him get some minutes, man. Let him get some run, man. And teacher said, I like Hawkins a lot. He's just behind others who giving great effort right now. And teacher, and you're correct in saying that, man. This roster, like I said, I just said this. The roster is so packed. It's so deep. Where you got good players, a good rookie like Jordan Hawkins. It's so much it's so much doggone um competition for minutes now. I know a lot of Pelicans fans early in the season was getting mad at Willie Green for not giving the man minutes, but dang it, I mean, like come on now, like you got to be, if you were the head coach, how are you giving up those minutes? How are you able to go ahead and give minutes to Jose, Dyson Daniels, and try to split it up with C.J. McCollum and Trey Murphy and Zion Williamson and Jonas Valanciunas and all these great players that we have, man. That's tough, you know. Preston said, "Don't bring that janky Saints energy over here to the Pels." Lord, Preston. Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Preston. I really do believe that, and I'm not trying to go ahead and trying to speak any unrealistic, realities about these Pelicans. Like I really think if the Pelicans can stay healthy, If the Pelicans can go ahead and just like I said, close games and defend, they why not? Why not? They can. I mean, people didn't think the Denver Nuggets earlier in the season was going to do it last season. You know, that was their first title. Why can't the Pelicans get their first title? You know, like we have a deep enough team to do it, man. We have the players to do it, man. It's just about coming together, man. We can do it.
Yep.
Tedrick,
That's what we
my
need to see.
bad, my bad, Tedrick, man. I look. Initially, when you see it, it kind of, I kind of messed you up, but yeah, man. Look, uh, my bad for botching you. It's Tedra. It's Tedra. I got you. I got you. Uncle Henry said, can't come in tonight, fellas. Daddy on duty, LOL. But I'm in the chat tonight. Good to see you in the chat. We know you got, little cuzzo back there. So doggone, you're fine, man. We know you're busy, man. We know you're one of our big Pelicans fans, man. We have you in the chat, man. So
So,
we know you're busy, man. We ain't holding nothing against you. But yes, sir, we're excited about this game too. He said, "I want to see a matchup inside against the Warriors and out rebound them. We do that, we win. We can't let what happened last game happen tonight." Um, and look, me and Nas kind of touched on that point. The Warriors can't match up with the Pelicans in the
rebounding.
in rebounding, man. Like we have big boys down there. We like I said, all the Warriors really have down there is
Kevin Looney.
Kevon Looney. You know, Looney is pretty good down there with defending and everything. But other than that, and Draymond's not playing tonight, so Zion should be able to feast tonight. And even with Jonas Valanciunas being guarded by Kevon Looney, look, I still take Valanciunas over Looney. You know, in certain situations, the Pelicans have to take advantage of them being so small and us having bigger lineups. Calvin said if the Pelicans go to the finals and win it, it would be bigger than the Saints Super Bowl. Whoo, Calvin, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, I'm actually I'm actually agree with you on that because it's actually more harder for the Pelicans to win the NBA finals rather than the Saints win the Super Bowl, man. And I'm saying this just because we've seen the Saints do this before. We've seen the Saints win the Super Bowl. But the Pelicans, that's something we've never seen. And I know the Pelicans are still a young franchise, but it's so hard. It's so hard in the NBA to win a championship, man. So to see the Pelicans win it, man, would be huge for the city of New Orleans, man. I would love to see the Pelicans go ahead and do it, man. And like I said, if it ain't if it's not this year and everything. At least let the Pelicans. I want to see the Pelicans in the Western Conference Finals at the least. I think they're good enough to do that at the least, or be in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Man, like the Pelicans need to take that next step so that if it's not this year, then the next year we need to be talking about that the Pelicans are a championship basketball team. Tetra, hey, no problem, man. Like I said, my bad for botching your name. Um, um, Onk said last game Looney tore us up. We gotta match their energy. The Pelicans have been playing well on the road, though. Yes, sir. That's a great point. We definitely don't want to go ahead and let this team get on a roll. I like I mentioned earlier. Um, Like we know that the Warriors aren't at their strongest strength right now, but you can never count out the Warriors, and they're at home in San Francisco. I'm not about to sit there and act like just because they're older now that they won't sit there and run us out of San Francisco. That's why we can't take this team lightly. And I'm by no means I'm not sleeping on Kevon Looney because I think Kevon Looney has been a slept on piece for the Warriors for a long time. Tedra said, I want to see us finally lock up Curry. We make star guards have the worst games against us. I want to see us do it to Curry too. That's a great point too, Tedra. Um, we definitely I would like to see someone like her match up on Curry. I want or Jose Alvarado. Get one of these two guys on Curry. Make him have a tough game because every time Steph Curry plays the Pelicans, he has a big game, man. So we have to do a good job of defending this guy tonight, man. Don't let this kid and I'm calling him a kid, not heck no. Don't let this vet doggone get us caught up, man. I'm telling y'all, once he gets started from three, man, he doesn't stop, man. So we can't sit there and sleep on this, man, bro. Um, and yes, sir, too. Also, Tedra, welcome to the Baddest Sports Show podcast, too, man. It's good to see you in for a Pelicans podcast. I think I've seen you before for the Saints, for sure, for our pregame and postgame shows for the Saints. But for sure, welcome to the Pelicans podcast, man. The Saints season over. We definitely gonna continue to go ahead and talk and broadcast about the Saints off season and everything. But we still in are we in the middle of the Pelicans now? It's Pelicans time. The Pelicans got the show now and everything. So we appreciate you for showing out and everything. And if you got some more friends, man, bring them to the Battle Sports Show podcast to come on and talk some Pelicans basketball or some sports in general, man. Well, we do it big here, man. Uncle Henry says Steph Curry is always ready. We got to be ready. Calvin said, "Is Stephen A. Smith correct when he says Zion will eat the table?" Hell no, Calvin. He's not right. Um, People need to get off of Zion's back. Zion, like I said, deserves a lot of credit this season. He's been out on the floor healthy. He's been out on the floor healthy so far this season, and I don't believe that he's sitting there trying to eat all the food and everything. First of all, he's in the
Screw
biggest
off,
form.
Stephen A.
Right,
You
right,
ain't
yeah,
nothing but a failed project who
right.
blew
Let
your.
let's let's
Shut
let's
up,
let's
Stephen
let's
A.
let's get off of Zion's head, man. Let's not look too much into what Stephen A. Smith says. One
Screw
day
you, Stephen A.
he'll sit there and say that Zion it could be one of the greatest players in NBA history, and then he'll turn around and say stuff like that, man. So I'm not about to see here um and go ahead and all going and feed into that with Stephen A. Smith. Unc said um no, Stephen A. Smith is a joke. Zion is not even fat. And he said, "Yes, sir, Tedra, but it's hard to lock up Curry." Tedra said, "Yes, didn't know about this. I'm gonna be here now. I love Pels more than the Saints." Yes, sir, man. Well, hey, well, that's good, man. Look, that's a rarity. I ain't gonna lie to you. We being on the sports podcast and everything. Don't get me wrong, we love our Saints, but we gotta give the Pelicans some love too, man. We gotta show the Pelicans some love just as much as them Saints, man. Lord gone. So I tries not to go ahead and you know shows too much
My stance is mutual,
bias
bro.
towards the Saints or anything like that. Like I said, the Saints had their time, they did their season and everything like that. They're in the off season and right now and everything, but it's Pelicans time. We in the middle of the Pelican season, man. So Tedra, gone. You more than welcome, man. Like I said, welcome to the Battle Sports Show podcast, man. Like I said, tell your friends, man. Make sure you subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, and we got a Facebook group chat, man. So we here, man. We do these pals, we do these Saints, man. We do all types of sports, man. We
Tulane
here, man.
Green Wave,
Yeah,
New
Tulane Green
Orleans
Wave,
Breakers.
LSU. Yeah. Unfortunately, the New Orleans Breakers they didn't kind of left us now. They didn't. Hopefully, they'll be able to come back in the new spring league and everything now that they didn't create it now with the XFL. But yeah, for sure. And Unc said, "See, EJ, I'm not the other." See, hey, Lord God, I guess we finally got some more Pels fans with you, dog. We finally got them out here. Yeah, they always be trying to jump you, man. That I know. I don't know why they do that, bro. Lord going, but I think they do that though, Unc. just because it was Saints season though. But no, now that it's Pelicans time and it's fully Pelicans time, we got to give the love to the Pelicans now. The Saints, that like I said, they had their season and everything. We'll talk more about the Saints off season and everything when we get a chance. But right now, the Pelicans are in the middle of their season right now. The game is on ABC, y'all. The game also is on Bally Sports New Orleans. If y'all don't want to listen to the doggone national media, and y'all want to listen to Joel Myers and Antonio Daniels like I like to do all the time, definitely tune into Bally Sports New Orleans. And also to remember, soon the Pelicans are transitioning to local broadcasts of the game. So they're moving away more now from Valley Sports New Orleans, and they're going into um, to local broadcasts, which is great for everyone in New Orleans and for all the fans that aren't in town in New Orleans, like me, So um, definitely, y'all get ready to tune into that for sure. Tedra said my mom wouldn't let me play football, so I played basketball, which make me love my team so much. And Ong said, hit us up on the Baddest Sports Show podcast in the Deep South on the Facebook. And Tetra said, I've been there. I just haven't been typing. I'll type more. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, sir. Love Joel and AD. And it's about that time, though. Hey, we about 7:30. The game's about to go ahead and start. Nas, real quick before we break it out, Nas, we like to ask a couple of things from fans. The MVP of the game and the final score. So who's your MVP and the final score of this game?
CJ, and this game be 115 to 111.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that. I like that. I think my MVP of the game is definitely gonna be Zion Williamson tonight. Like I said, I'm looking for the Pelicans to go ahead and feast in the post. At least that would be the smart thing to do if I'm Willie Green. Feed my big boys in the post and go ahead and let Zion Williamson work. And he's healthy. Let him go to work for sure. And I think this is gonna be a close game because we play the Warriors the Warriors kind of play us tough all the time. So I'm going 110 um to 105 New Orleans Pelicans on top. Also, like I said, if you want to go ahead and leave your scores and your MVPs in the chat, please do so. Um Uncle Henry said he said 124 to 114 Pelicans, and he's got Brandon Ingram as his MVP, 27 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. And
Six
he also believes
rebounds, seven
Nas.
assists.
He also believes Nas that CJ has been a monster at point guard lately. And then Tedra said 114 to 98 Pels winning the statement game, man. I like that score from you, Tedra. So hopefully tonight we get this Pels dub. Like I said, get a statement win. And like I said, take it a game at a time and go into Denver with some momentum, baby. So y'all go ahead and y'all enjoying the game tonight. We'll be back once again with another Pels broadcast. We do this every week. The Pels are playing during the week. So, doggone, y'all enjoy the game. This is the Baddest Sports Show podcast in the Deep South. I'm EJ504. This is Nas with me on the podcast tonight. Shout out to you, Onk. Shout out to you, Tedra. Shout out to you, Calvin. Shout out to all of y'all that was able to go ahead and hop into the chat tonight and watch us tonight. Y'all make sure y'all like, y'all subscribe, y'all get some fans. Y'all make sure y'all come on and tune in and watch some Pelicans games. And tune in with us and get hyped with us. And like I said, we'll have some more off season talk with the Saints later on. Yeah. This this month of January in the future. And for sure, give us a follow on Twitter. And we also have a Facebook page, the Baddest Sports Show podcast on Facebook, Crescent City Sports Talk. So without further ado, I'm gonna break it out on a hoop that on three. So 1, 2, 3, hoop
Hoop
that!